Well, Alistair Park, thank you for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself, like your playing career, your coaching experience and how you got into this role.
Obviously, like all of us, I played as a junior. I was very lucky to be part of some programs coming up. Played a long time for Western Australia. Had a really fulfilling career, lots of ups and downs. Never had the opportunity to play for my country, which is definitely something that probably in this role, coaching the Hockey Fives has been really, really fulfilling in terms of getting to do something that I would have loved to have done as a player. From a coaching perspective, like I think I've always enjoyed helping others find their path in the sport, and it's something that I really get great satisfaction out of doing.
The Hockey Fives World Cup's in Oman in a few weeks, like you said. Tell us more about Hockey Fives, like the style, the size of the pitch, how many minutes per half, etc.
Yeah, so it's our T20 form of the game. It's fast paced. We play two 15-minute halves with a 5-minute break in the middle. There's 5 athletes on the ground at one time, 4 of them outfield players and 1 goalkeeper. Probably one of the slight differences is you can score from anywhere in your half, which is really exciting and again creates that continuous phase where if you turn the ball over, all of a sudden it'll be a goal shot against, but equally if you regain the ball, you can have a goal shot for. So yeah, really fast paced, exciting, and something the athletes really enjoy.
More on the Hockey Fives World Cup. There's 16 male and 16 female teams. You've got a pretty good group, pool, that you're going up against. What style of play? Like, is it a 1-3 system? Is it zonal? Is it more man on man? Tell us a bit about how you're going to approach it.
The answer is we don't really know, which I think is not uncommon going into tournament hockey. We don't have the luxury of a daily training environment, so we don't have that chance to develop those skills before we go. But again, our group's really adaptive and we really hope that we're going to learn really quickly. We've got a number of warm-up matches that we're going to get to play, and that's going to give us a great chance going into the tournament, and yeah, hopefully we can get some momentum before getting into game 1.
I was going to ask, how much of the opposition do you know about? Because when you're in the national team, you study the opposition like better than you study yourself sometimes. So do you know much about the opposition?
Yeah, look, we won't have a huge focus on the opposition. We'll really be just trying to make sure we maximise our strengths and what we have, and then hopefully as the tournament unfolds and some of those practice games unfold, we can learn a bit about others. There's going to be some real quality teams at the tournament. I know India are going to send a good side, so yeah, it's going to be a fantastic challenge for our athletes.
And the selection process for making the Hockey Fives, how do you select the Australian team?
Yeah, like I think that's one of the things that'll be fascinating to see in the sort of, I guess, the next cycle post this Olympics, what the national program thinks about the game. From my perspective, I see that at some point the Fives will be part of the national program, as we discussed before. Like, it's such a pure form of the game. Probably what will happen post this World Cup is that the national program will take a greater interest in being able to expose maybe some athletes that are not getting that chance in the 11-a-side game. But yeah, if there's more opportunity in the 5-a-side, I think that's probably what'll happen.
So we've seen it in other sports, rugby, sevens. We've seen it in T20 with cricket. A lot of other sports have, quickened the game up, made it more entertaining. That's what hockey's doing. How do you see the future for Hockey Fives in, say, in 5 years' time? What would you like to see?
Yeah, who knows? There is so much appeal to it. Like, I think we recognise, I grew up in a small country town, like in our regional centres, there's going to be real appeal for it, because instead of having 20 athletes to get a game going, you only need 10. So I think there's some appeal at the grassroots level. I think the sevens format for rugby is probably the pathway that hockey would love to see the Fives go, in that you can have those pop-up tournaments, you can play multiple times a day. It's a great television product. If you get your most skillful athletes out there in the world, like it's going to be watchable.
And the Hockey Fives World Cup in Oman is on a dry turf. Dry turf apparently is going to come out, well, it will be coming into the 2026 World Cup in Holland and Belgium, and possibly in LA and for the future of hockey. Have you played, or have any of the guys played on a dry turf? What are their thoughts on it, and what's your view on it?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of athletes up on the Gold Coast who've been exposed to one of the dry surfaces up there, and they were really full of praise on the quality of the surface. I guess from a personal perspective, like living in Western Australia where we have really low rainfall and water's always an issue, like I see us going to a dry surface as really important for the sustainability of the game. If we can find a surface that's going to tick all the boxes, which it seems that we have done, yeah, it's really exciting to play on something that's taking us forward and being really sustainable for our sport.
All going to plan, you're going to come home with a gold medal from the Male and Hockey Fives World Cup. You're going to secure your job with the Hockey Fives team. If there was one place in the world you would want the next World Cup to be, where would it be?
Yeah, there's so many venues that we'd love to play at, but I think the calling of Rome in the middle of the Colosseum, roll out a turf there, I think that would be fantastic. Yeah, the 10 best gladiators going at it would be awesome.
All right, Alistair, thank you very much for joining us today. Good luck at the World Cup and whatever the future holds for your coaching. I want to wish you all the best and thank you.
I appreciate it, Jamie. Thanks for having me.